Onto cars, Tesla has rolled out its rear-wheel drive long-range Cybertruck for 72 grand, but it reportedly doesn't have as many features. Let's hear a perspective on this from Paul Fix III, an automotive journalist with Car Coach Reports. Paul, great to have you on the show. All right, so you're saving 10 grand compared to that dual-motor all-wheel drive former base model. Is this $72,000 long-range Cybertruck a good buy?
Thanks for having me. Good morning. It seems like they're cutting out a lot of features over at Tesla to try to bring that price down by 10 grand. But whether or not you're going to buy one may not be entirely dependent on whether or not you want to save the money. It may be if you specifically want the longer range, because you're losing so many features in the process, unfortunately. I think a lot of people go and buy the Cybertruck because they want all of the coolest, most premium features that are offered on something like the all-wheel drive model that's now no longer the base model. So what you're actually losing is some of the things like headlights and taillights, more premium features, more of the premium materials. You're even losing that really cool electrified tonneau cover that's on the back, and you have to replace it with something you have to manually control. That's an additional price on top. But what you are gaining, which is really huge here, is an extra 37 miles of range and faster charging, and it's lighter. Now, it can't tow as much, but when you're looking for range in your vehicle, this is definitely hitting that mark.
What makes the Cybertruck so appealing?
That's a good question. I think that some people like that this is a look into the future. This is like all the sci-fi movies that we grew up with. This is like a video game. This is like Elon Musk said, how can I make this as cool and futuristic as possible? He's succeeded in that, and people love it. Absolutely love it. And now I don't have their sales numbers directly in front of me, but I do know that they are really selling. I see them all over town here, and Buffalo's not a big town for vehicles like that, especially with our weather. But the Cybertruck has definitely captured the hearts and the minds of people on the road and all over social media as well, because whether or not you like it or hate it, everybody's talking about it, and they are really selling.
So, Paul, this report from Motor Trend, they clocked that Cyber Beast. It's another Cybertruck going 0 to 60 at 2.5 seconds. Now, the all-wheel drive model, 4.1 seconds. This long-range model, that's 6.2 seconds. I mean, but do you really need that kind of pickup on a truck?
That's actually a really good question. Most vehicles today actually hit 0 to 60 around that time. And you don't really need anything faster than that unless you are trying to get out of a dangerous situation. You actually do need the extra horsepower, which is why a lot of people like to daily drive sports cars. But when you're looking at the difference between 3.7 seconds and 6.2 seconds, you're not really going to feel it in a vehicle this size, this weight. You get instant torque. That's one of the benefits of having an electric vehicle. When you put your foot into it, all of the power is delivered to the electric motor down to the wheels instantly, and you get all of its power, 100% of its power. Now, in comparison to a regular car or an internal combustion engine car, you actually lose a lot of that power in the process, and it doesn't get directly down to the wheels, and you can feel this, the ramp up in power that we talk about sometimes when you see trucks and other economy vehicles start to get up and move. But these Cybertrucks, they're big and they're heavy and they have a lot to move, so it doesn't really make out that much of a difference in the grand scheme of things, except for when you have a Cyber Beast, the highest trim model, and you have all of that electric horsepower, and you want to show your friends how cool and fast this is. That's where it comes into play, and it is wickedly fast.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying on that instant torque, but some car enthusiasts, they want that kind of delayed response where you keep feeling that acceleration instead of just a quick burst all at once, suck back into the seat, and then it's over. But all right, so Paul, what are some other cars or trucks on the market right now that are comparable to this long-range Cybertruck that might be a better option, similar price, performance?
That's a great question, because there's actually a lot of electric trucks that are coming out right now. And of course, there's always the non-electric trucks. It just depends on what your budget looks like. Now, keeping in mind that electric trucks and electric vehicles in general are more expensive than the average internal combustion engine or even the diesel vehicle that you could be buying. So Ford has the F-150 Lightning, and Chevy has the Silverado EV, and there's always the Hummer EV, which is kind of more like the Cybertruck because it's more like an SUV and less like a pickup truck, although they do have an option for a bed. But really, there's a lot of great vehicles out there right now made by all the different brands, whether it's domestic or foreign, that do as much as the Cybertruck does, and sometimes for a better price. It depends on how premium you're going with a lot of the materials. Like if you're going to get a Denali from GMC, the price is going to go way up because there's all sorts of premium material add-ons that you can just keep tacking on different packages and options, and it can really increase that price well over $100,000 very, very easily.
Thanks for the
The
options,
Cybertruck
Paul.
goes
Yeah,
that
go on.
expensive as well. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, thanks for those options. I mean, well, and back to your previous point, I mean, you get 147 miles of charge in 15 minutes with that supercharger on the Cybertruck, so it's not bad. But now, what are the benefits and rideability for this long-range Cybertruck powered by rear-wheel drive?
Right. Yeah. So less friction, less weight allows them to accelerate the car faster. And of course, the faster charging really helps as well because range anxiety is a big issue with a lot of consumers right now. They're worried about how far do they have to drive versus how much charge they can get. You can fill up your ICE car in 5-10 minutes, but an electric car, if you want to get a full charge, it can take much, much longer than that. And so usually what they do is you drive a little bit, you stop, you charge, and every 30 minutes or so, you'll stop and get like a quick charge. There's a little bit of benefit to that this faster charging and the less friction, the less power consumption from just the rear wheel drive model will allow you to go a little bit farther and have a little bit less range anxiety. Does it completely fix the issue? I wouldn't say so, but it's definitely something to consider if you think you really want a Cybertruck, you don't want to spend 80,000 plus, and you want a little bit of extra range. This seems like it could be actually a really good option for those people.
Fascinating insight from you, Paul Fix III, automotive journalist at Car Coach Reports. Thank you.
Thank you.
If you like this video, give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this, and check out our car review channel, Car Smarts. You can support me by buying me a cup of coffee, and if you want even more content, check out the links in the description. I'm Lauren Fix. Thank you so much for watching.